Good morning. Hi, today is Friday, July 3rd, and I'm going to be reading 1 Chronicles 12, 13, and 14.
12, 13, and 14. That's 3 chapters. Are you ready, Matthew? For all 3 chapters? Are you ready, Gabriel?
Oh,
Are you going to read this time?
Okay,
No?
everything.
Would you like to read? No?
Look at everything we've read.
We have gone through a lot.
It's incredible.
6.
Now, just before this, you were running around like crazy over there. No. You're all mellow and it's incredible.
No, I'm reading.
Yes. Yes, you got a haircut.
Me too.
And yes.
The only one that
So-
haven't had a haircut is Catherine and Daddy.
Nope, Daddy got a haircut.
Just Catherine.
Just, well,
Catherine and you. But you don't need them.
all right.
B and Q need one.
Oh, okay.
The mighty men joined David. Now these are the men who came to David at Ziklag while he kept himself away from Saul the son of Kish. They were among the brave men, helpers in the war. They were armed with bows and could use both the right hand and the left in hurling stones and shooting arrows out of a bow. They were Saul's brothers of Benjamin. The chief was Ahazir, then Joash, the sons of Shema, the Gibeathite, Jeziel, and Pelet, the sons of Asmaveth, Berekah, and Jehu, the Anathothite, and Ishmael, the Gibeonite, a brave warrior among the 30 and over 30, Jeremiah, Haziel, Johanan, and Johazabed, the Jerathite, and Luzai, Jeremoth, Beliah, Shemariah, and Shephatiah, the Heraphite, and Elkanah, Ishia, Azarel, Joezer, and Jeshabim, the Korahites, and Jolath, and Zebediah, the sons of Jeroham of Gedor, from the Gadites, mighty men of valor, men of the war battalion who could handle shield and sword, whose faces were like the faces of lions and who were swift as the gazelles on the mountains, separated themselves for David in the stronghold in the wilderness. Ezer the captain, Obadiah the second, Eliab the third, Mishmannah the fourth, Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Elzabad the ninth, Jeremiah the 10th, Macbenai the 11th. These were from Gad, captains of the battalions. One of the least of them was as 100, and the greatest as 1,000. These were the ones who crossed over the Jordan during the first month when it had overflowed its banks and caused the valley dwellers to flee to the east and to the west. Some of the sons of Benjamin and Judah came to the strongholds of David. So David went out before them and said to them, "If you have come in peace to help me, then I will have a heart united with yours. But if to betray me to my adversaries, when there is no violence in my hand, may the God of our fathers see, and may he decide between us." Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, the captain of the officers, and he said, "We are for you, David, and with you, son of Jesse. Peace to you, and peace to the one helping you, for your God helps you." So David welcomed them and appointed them as captains of the troops. Now some from Manasseh joined forces with David when he came with the Philistines for battle against Saul. But they did not help them, for after taking counsel, the lords of the Philistines sent him away, saying, "It would be our heads if he falls back to his lord Saul." And as he went to Ziklag, these men of Manasseh deserted to join him. Adnah, Jozabad, Jadiel, Michael, Jozabad, Elio, Zeletai, chiefs of thousands of Manasseh. So they helped David against the bands of raiders because of all of them were mighty men of valor and commanders in the army. For at that time, day by day, they came to help David until they became a great camp like the camp of God. David's army at Hebron. Now these make up the number of the leaders equipped for the battalion who came to David at Hebron in order to turn the kingdom of Saul over to him, as the mouth of the Lord had spoken. The sons of Judah who carried shields and spears, 6,800 equipped for war. From the sons of Simeon, mighty men of valor, fit for war, 7,100. From the sons of the Levites, 4,600. Jehoiada was the principal leader of the Aaronites, and he brought with them 3,700, while Zadok, a brave young warrior, brought 22 leaders from the house of his father. From the sons of Benjamin, the brothers of Saul, 3,000 up to that time. The greater number of them were keeping their loyalty with the house of Saul. From the sons of Ephraim, 20,800 mighty men of valor, men of reputation in the house of their fathers. From the half-tribe of Manasseh, 18,000 who were marked by name to come and crown David king. From the sons of Issachar, those having understanding of times and what Israel should do, 200 of their captains, with all their brothers at their command. Of Zebulun, 50,000 seasoned troops, equipped for battle with all the weapons of war, to help David with singleness of purpose. From Zebulun, those going out to war, equipped for battle with all the weapons of war, to help David with an undivided heart, 50,000. From Naphtali, 1,000 leaders, and 37,000 with shields and spears. From the Danites, competent for battle, 28,600. From Asher, those going to war arranged for battle, 40,000. And also from the other side of the Jordan, from the Reubenites, the Gadites, and half of the tribe of Manasseh, with all their battle array, 120,000. All these made up the men of war arranged in ranks, who came to Hebron with a sincere heart to make David king over all Israel, along with all the rest of Israel who, with one heart, came to make David king. Now all these were there with David three days, eating and drinking, for their brothers had made provision for them, and also the ones who were as near to them as Issachar, Zebulun, and Naphtali were bringing bread on donkeys, on camels, on mules, and on oxen, food for fine flour, fig cakes, raisins, wine, oil, herds, and flocks in abundance, for there was joy in Israel. The ark. So David conferred with the captains of the thousands and of the hundreds, and with every leader. Then he said to all the assembly of Israel, if it seems good to you and to the Lord our God, let us send word to the rest of our brothers throughout all the land of Israel, along with the priests and the Levites in their cities, that they might join us here. Then let us bring the ark of the Lord our God back to us, for we did not seek it during the days of Saul. Then all the assembly agreed to do it, because the thing seemed right in the eyes of all the people. So David assembled all Israel from Shihor in Egypt as far as the entrance to Hamath, in order to bring the ark of God from Kiriath Jearim, and he went up with all Israel to Bela, that is to Kiriath Jearim, which belongs to Judah, to bring up the ark of God, the Lord, who dwells between the cherubim, where his name is called. They transported the ark of God on the new cart from the house of Abinadab, with Uzzah and Ahio driving the cart, while David and all Israel played music before God with all their might, performing songs on lyres, harps, tambourines, cymbals, and trumpets. When they had come as far as the threshing floor of Kidon, Uzzah stretched out his hand to take hold of the ark, because the oxen had stumbled on the path. Then the anger of the Lord burned against Uzzah, and he struck him because he reached his hand out to touch the ark. Thus Uzzah died there before God. And David was angry because the Lord struck out against Uzzah, so he called that place Perez Uzzah, as it is to this day. David was afraid of God that day, saying, how can I ever bring the ark of God to myself? So David stopped moving the ark of God to himself in the city of David, and diverted it to the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. And while the ark of God stayed in his house 3 months, the Lord blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all he had. David established at Jerusalem. Then Hiram, the king of Tyre, sent messengers to David with cedar, wood, stonemasons, and carpenters to build a palace for him. So David knew that the Lord had established him as king over Israel because his kingdom was highly exalted for the sake of his people Israel. Now David took more wives in Jerusalem, and David became the father of more sons and daughters. These are the names of the children who were born to him in Jerusalem: Shemua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elisho, Elpelet, Noga, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Belida, and Eliphalet. David defeats the Philistines. Now when the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over all Israel, all the Philistines went out to seek David, but David heard and went out to them. So the Philistines came and raided the valley of Rephaim. Then David inquired of the Lord, saying, "Shall I go up against the Philistines? Will you give them into my hand?" The Lord said, "Go up against them, and I will give them into your hand." And they went up to Baal Perazim, and David struck them down there. Then David said, "God broke through my enemies by my hand as the breaking through of waters." Therefore the place they named Baal Perazim. They abandoned their gods there, and David said that they should be burned with fire. Now the Philistines raided the valley once more, and David again inquired of God, and God answered him, "Do not go up after them, but turn around behind him and come to them in front of the balsam trees. Whenever you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the balsam trees, you will advance the battle. For God has gone out before you to strike the camp of the Philistines." David did just as God commanded him, and they struck the camp of the Philistines from Gibeon as far as Gezer. So the fame of David went out in all the lands, and the Lord put the dread of him on all the nations. 12, 13, and 14.
Alright.
Bye, everybody. Subscribe. Go back to the video. Please leave a like or a comment.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
Alright.